basically about believing that we are capable to do that, and also the imagination of that it's actually working on you.
Hello and welcome to the Heal Yourself with me, Sarah Dawkins podcast. We share people who've already healed themselves, along with health and wellness tips from myself. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Heal Yourself with me, Sarah Dawkins. My guest today is Edith B. Kiss, who is a holistic therapist, a success habit coach, a #1 best-selling author, has a humanitarian award, is a winner for a humanitarian award, and she's also an international speaker. Edith originally was a petroleum engineer working in the petroleum industry for 15 years before becoming a life coach. During these years, she trained to become a Reiki master, a Sekhem healer, and a Karma yogi. So welcome, Edith.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for having me. Hello, everybody.
Thank you for coming to share your healing. So would you like to share with our audience what you've healed and how you've healed it?
Yeah, so one of the biggest issue I experienced in my life was the panic attacks, which started in my early 20s. And of course, it wasn't an overnight healing. It takes time, obviously. And then I had to also figure out what I should use or what is the best solution for this. But I can share like what were the steps, and then it can basically shortcut for the audience the experience. So I started with energy healing, Reiki healing, because I heard about it that is very powerful and it can actually help with anxiety and stress and all kinds of illnesses, because it's healing the energy centers in the body and also is initiating the healing of the body itself. So first I had Reiki sessions from a Reiki healer, then I learned it as well, how to actually invoke the energy of the universe for my own healing. And then I also realized later on in my journey, my healer's journey, that we don't even really need science or learning systems or structures to step into that source energy and just invoke it for our own healing. Is basically about believing that we are capable to do that, and also the imagination of that it's actually working on you. So if you already get to that level, then you don't need to even learn Reiki healing or energy healing. Just basically you step into that energy, you believe you have the connection, and then you believe it has a positive effect on your life, basically. So that was the first step. And first, of course, it was I was struggling with it, like also myself, to make it more consistent or reach a good level. I realized also that certain activities was helping with my panic attacks, like playing tennis, like ball games. Because when you're playing a ball game, which is asking you to concentrate on the ball and also using your hands as well in the same time, is basically stimulating your brain cells, neurons, the same way, like it's somehow is healing these mental illnesses. So tennis is a really great sport if you want to actually overcome your mental issues. And what also I used was the St. John Wort, which is a herb. So I just use it as a tea or as a capsule for a while, because it was helping me to mitigate or tackle with the symptoms for a couple of weeks. And then while I was still experimenting with all the other things. And then eventually what I also realized that that when I had the biggest symptoms or the biggest reactions, like the panic attacks, it was usually connected with my physical health. So whenever I had like a virus infection, or whenever I had like a weaker physical body because of maybe I wasn't taking care of myself enough, I wasn't sleeping enough, or I was more stressed due to work, then these flared up more, these panic attacks. So I realized that, oh, so now I need to take care of myself. I need to eat properly. I need to eat enough, nutrients and vitamins. And I also need to sleep enough. And then then I'm not getting, infection because I'm healthy, I'm not getting weak, and then I sleep well. So then I realized that, oh, my panic attacks is actually like stopped, like because I don't have that um, thing to be scared of, like, because what is panic attacks? You get scared and then you believe that something terrible happens to you, like maybe you have a heart attack or something. But it's this scariness, this fear is coming from feeling like not knowing things, like you don't have the information to, like, okay, what's going on with me? And this can be an anxiety or stress because of your situation. But it sometimes also can people feel anxiety and stress just because there are certain alignment in the universe as well, the planets, how they actually going in a retrograde or eclipses, and what we are actually experiencing right now. Many people get triggered because the veiling is thinning. What does it mean the veiling is thinning? We are multidimensional beings and we're having this physical experience. So sometimes when the veiling is thinning, we experiencing even our childhood traumas or past life situations, and we can just suddenly feel anxious and feel certain panic attacks, even though it's nothing happening in your real life, but it was happening in those situations. So what I would recommend in these situations, like if you feel like, okay, nothing wrong in my real life, what is going on with me, I would just recommend to meditate, to breathe, to rest, and then also call upon angels. Angels are here to you. For example, Archangel Raphael has a healing light of green healing light. So you can invite Archangel Raphael with the green healing light and imagine that the green healing light is actually flushing over you, healing you, relaxing you. So that's also a very powerful technique to relax you in these situations. And then what is the most important is, if it's a childhood trauma or past life traumas, to heal traumas, the only thing what you need to remember is to forgive. Whatever has happened to you in the past, if you reach the point of forgiveness and letting it go, you basically heal the situation. So I recommend, if you are experiencing panic attacks and you don't know where is the root, just write down a list of things what maybe you felt guilty or ashamed about, and then write down another list about people who maybe betrayed you, or caused you some hurt. And then as you go through the list, first forgive to yourself, and then don't feel guilt and ashamed. So forgiving to yourself in certain situations is very powerful. And then in the other list, which was with the other people, basically forgive to the other people. And don't think the way like many victims is actually thinking the way like, oh, how can I forgive, because then I'm not going to be justified that I got hurt. But it's nothing to do with the other people. Is actually has to do with your own health and well-being. So do you want to be healthy? Do you want to feel good? Then please forgive to everybody who ever hurt you, because you can't really change the past, only this way. And then it's allow you to start a brand new future.
I love that. Thank you. Forgiveness is so powerful. And I've done a lot of that in my own life as well. Not for panic attacks, but for general healing, because we have to forgive to be able to heal ourselves, don't we? To let go of that weight.
Yes, absolutely. And what is important also about the consuming the right food and everything, I was vegan for 3 years, and I was vegan because of spiritual growth. So some people are going into vegan because they feel like, okay, they raise their vibration so high, and then in that high vibration, they can consume that high vibrational food, like vegetables and fruits. And then they don't consume meat because it's a low vibrational food. So basically, if you are vegan, it's good for spiritual growth, meaning learning more about energy healings or stepping into your higher power, your higher, reaching other dimensions for spiritual practices. But I don't recommend to stay vegan forever, or only stay vegan if you really know what food to eat, when to eat, and if it's really you check all your blood test and everything, and this comes back that you are absolutely healthy, then you are doing fine. But not everybody is actually able to live healthily on a vegan diet. So I really then, because I was in a vegan diet for 3 years, then I actually got iron deficiency because I wasn't doing it right, and or my body wasn't taking it right, and I actually had to change back to eating meat again. So I'm now eating, and then this also was a significant shift in my panic attacks as well. So it's really important to make sure that you have enough iron, vitamin B, magnesium, because that's a game changer for sure.
Yes, and the other part of that as well is there are essential amino acids in meat that our brain needs for good mental health, and we can improve a range of different mental health conditions by eating more quality protein, quality meats. And the nutrients in animal products is far more bioavailable than the nutrients in plant foods.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't eat dairy, so I don't drink like milk or cheese or any of those. I don't eat dairy, and but and it doesn't, I don't feel any deficiency because of that, and because I do it like for 7 years now. It's just helped me to lose weight, so it was really great. Yeah.
Thank you for that. And I like that you covered the spiritual aspect of panic attacks, because it's so much more than just our physical and mental health, isn't it, that we have to look out for. We have to look at our spiritual connection and come back into ourselves, because a lot of people align spirituality with religion, and there's a huge difference, isn't there? And for me, I don't give it a name, but that inner voice inside of me, many people call it different things, but we have to come back into that to understand what our higher self, our inner wisdom, God, the universe, the angels, is trying to communicate with us.
Yes, absolutely. And then they are here to protect us. And some of them, like the spirit guides, they can interact and help and, always help you. But the angels, somehow they need you to ask them, otherwise they do not interact. So the angels you need to call upon. And then you have your own angels, and there are the archangels. So you just need to call upon them, and they will show you the way. I remember when I was sick one time, and then I asked them to come forward and help me. So they showed me a whole way of healing process with elements, with the air, water, fire, and earth. And then I created actually a meditation about this, how they teach me to heal with that, and this in my YouTube channel actually.
Oh, that's fabulous. And I'll put your links below in the show notes so people can go and find your YouTube channel and do your meditation.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. And if you could share one tip for somebody today going through panic attacks, what would that be?
First is because it's a pattern. So they most likely, if it's coming in a pattern, they should understand first, like when it's happening, what can they connect to, and then how can they actually mitigate that trigger. Whatever triggered the panic attack, how can they, set boundaries or make it less? That's actually, I think, the easiest first to do, and then check on their physical basic needs. Again, about the deficiencies, whatever they go through. But setting boundaries and finding the trigger and mitigate the trigger is the first most important thing to do. And then building up their physical health basically is important. And again, it's just finding the root of the issue is through going through like some meditations and forgiveness. Basically, I use personally the Samadhi meditation, which is a powerful Adi Yogi Shiva technique when we activate the pineal gland and then we transcend into the subconscious mind. So there we can connect easier with our past traumas and release them easier through forgiveness. So this samadhi meditation is also in my YouTube channel, and it's also very powerful because you start to produce the necessary hormones on an extra boost. You produce more of the melatonin, serotonin, oxytocin growth hormone as you do this meditation, and then when you get the boost of these hormones, you have a better sleep, you become more focused, you become more kind and loving, and you also have a more vital body. I have people who told me just doing my meditations changed their life, so it's really powerful.
It is, and thank you for recording those for people to help themselves. As I say, I'll put the link in the show notes so people can come and find you. And where else can they find you?
So I have a website, it's edithbeekis.com, and then all my socials is appearing on my website, so it's an easy link. And I also just opened my school community because I realized that sometimes people coming to me and joining my groups, not just for the healing, not just for participating in healings and manifestation techniques or in doing some project together, but they want to show that they are part of a community. And when I'm asking them like, oh, can you give me a testimonial? Some of them not just writing about like how great the healing was and how good they feel, but they are like, oh, it's so great to be a part of a community because we see that everybody is struggling with similar things or we support each other. So this cool community called Release with Ease, and it's currently, I'm running a 7 days free trial. So you can come into the community and you can actually try out our live event, or there is a course there. There is also workshops there as you leveling up in the gamification of the school. And then also there is the meditation library with powerful ancestral healing and karma healing meditations in school. So that's a community which I recently opened and I really love. And I also have a book. It's called On the Healer's Journey. This is a coaching book for seekers. So if you have some questions about your existence, if you feel like the black sheep of the family, or if you feel like, oh, I would like to be a light worker, but I don't know how to go about it. So this book is actually helping you how to navigate this life when you feel like you are at the cocoon phase of the becoming a butterfly, but you are still in the cocoon. Then this book is basically for you.
Thank you, Edith. And where is the book available?
Actually, it's on many platforms, but Amazon is the easiest, I believe. So On the Healer's Journey, Amazon, there is also Kindle and the paper book. I actually recommend the paper book because there's beautiful mandalas and like pages what you can color with every chapter. So yeah, so you can use it also as a coloring book.
Wonderful. And coloring is so helpful as well for mental health, isn't it?
Yes.
Lovely. Thank you so much for sharing all of your wisdom to our listeners.
Thank you, Sarah, for having me.
Thank you for listening. Please share this podcast with anyone who you think will benefit. And can you leave me a review wherever you've listened to it to help me reach more people? Thank you.